Okay, how do we make an interval session more difficult and how do we make it more easy? Now, I had a brilliant question in the comments. Please keep your questions coming. But this is from Evgeny. He's looking to improve his running economy and power, as you can see in that second paragraph. Watch this great vid, and yesterday I finally did this workout, 400-meter workout. Went for 79 seconds per repeat, which is what the Jack Daniels book prescribed to give me my given lactate threshold paces, VO2 max, recent marathon time, etc. What can I say? It was tough. I had to take 2-minute breaks after each fourth repeat, and after 12 repeats, I just started going with 90 seconds rest in between. I also averaged 83 to 85 seconds per repeat. Did not have more in me. I'll repeat this session in a week and see how progress goes. Now, I love this question for many reasons. The main reason is I've done this type of thing a lot before, and I know how hard those sessions are to do, what you're thinking you're in, and how you need to summon something, some inner strength in order to get that over the line. So the fact that he's finished that session is fantastic. Is it optimal? No, it's not optimal, and this is the reason why, and hopefully this helps you, mate. Now, there's two ways to make an interval session more difficult. You can either increase distance or you can increase pace. If you increase distance, there's two ways to increase distance, and that's to increase the total volume, so the total volume that you're doing, and so either reps or the distance per rep times the number of reps. So for example, 20 times 400 meters, which he does, is 8,000 meters. We could increase that, do 10,000, 12,000, 18,000 meters, whatever we want to do in order to be as specific as we can towards our race goal. We could also chop those intervals up to make it more easy. So it's more difficult to do 8 times 1,000 meters than it is to do 20 times 400 meters. If you've ever done it, 20 times 400 meters, no matter what level you're at, because we're all running our paces, we're all trying to control the session, it's a very, very, very difficult session, and it's a brilliant indicator of where you're at, whether you're training for 5K or whether you're training for marathon. It's a great indicator. And if you keep the 60 seconds rest in between, if you keep that rest consistent, then you can track those sessions over time and you can quantify your improvement. So what I'd say to Evgeny is he's clearly gone out with a goal of 77 to 79 seconds in mind, and he's not managed to achieve that. And he's seen quite quickly that he's needed to take more recovery. And that's a good indicator if you can't bring the heart rate down. And as I've said to you guys, like, keep 60 seconds as a consistent, keep that consistent so that you can track your training, you can track your improvements, but also because you want to teach the heart rate from going high during the intervals to coming low. And that's going to help you become fitter, more efficient, your heartbeat more efficient at recovering. It's also going to help you when you go into the red during races, which we all do, and how to bring it back. But as I said, it's easier then to quantify the improvements, whether you're running a 1-minute interval, a 400-meter interval, or a 10-minute interval. If we use 60 seconds and watch our heart rate go from 175 to 128, we know that that's pretty good, and that's a great improvement. And if we do that again and we go to 155 during a 10-minute interval because we're running slower, and we bring that back to 128 again, we know that we're ready and recovered and good to go again. And over time, we can look at those sessions, say, okay, where am I strong? Where am I not so strong? What do I need to add more of? What do I need to improve? So when he started to see that interval session going off the rails, and he needed to take 2 minutes after each fourth repeat, and after 12 repeats, just started going with 90 seconds rest. What he could have done then is the second differentiator of how hard the session is. It could have decreased the pace. So if we look at the two things that we can increase in order to make the session more difficult, to get more super compensation, if we can control and if they're within us to do those sessions, we can also reverse those two things to make the session easier. So what he's done is taken more rest. What he could have done is reduce the pace during the interval. But he's wanted, I know the feeling, he's wanted of 77 seconds, 79 seconds. I want to hit that, whether it takes me 3 minutes or 2 minutes or 1 minute to recover, I want to hit those paces. I totally get that feeling. What you also could do is reduce the number of reps. So instead of going for 20, you could have said, you know what, already seen that it's taking me too much and I cannot recover in 60 seconds. I'm going to teach my body, I'm going to teach my heart rate to come down as quickly as I can in 60 seconds. So I'm only going to do 12 reps this time at 400 meters, but I'm going to try and hit that sub 80 second time, hit that 79 second time, and just do 12 this time, do my cool down, chalk it up as one of those learning points. Next week, I'm going to try and do 15 of them. And what you will get just week on week, and I told him this in the comments, it takes 9 to 11 days or 8 to 11 days in order for a training session to soak in, meaning that you get the super compensation, you get the benefits from that training session. And you're not going to see a huge benefit from one training session. You're talking less than 1%. But what you will have the next week is you'll have an improved feeling, an improved mindset about the training session. So you'll know what it feels like to do 400 meters. You'll know that it's bloody long, and that final 100 meter feels like it's the final straight of an Olympic 1500 meter final. And you'll know then how to pace it better. And so psychologically, 15 times 400 meters will be much more doable because you've already done 12 of them. And then within sort of 4 weeks, you want to be 15 times 400 meters, 18 times 400 meters, and then you're hitting 20 times 400 meters in your intent. Within 4 weeks, you're probably going to improve the pace as well. So you're probably going to be towards that 77 seconds. So what has started as, and he can still do this, you know, this is the great thing about running. There is no mistakes. There's just winning or learning. What he can do then is say, okay, I needed to take more rest, but next week I'm going to go out and do 12 properly. I'm going to hit that 70, 90 second time. Then I'm going to do 15. And over the weeks, as he improves the total volume of those 400 meter reps, the total volume of hard work, he's also going to improve in pace. So what he might see in 4 weeks is, okay, I can do 20 times 400 meters in 77 seconds, and it's comfortable for me. So how does that look when I start to apply it into races? How does that look like when I start to go easier in zone 2? He's talking about lactate threshold. So in zone 2 and for my longer runs, how does everything feed in? So your improvement, if you're starting to add structure and if you're starting to add intervals, your improvement should be massive. It's actually about the discipline to say, you know what, I'm happy with this improvement, keep moving forward gradually, keep ticking off these weeks, because it's a consistent training block of 12 weeks that really matters, not just a one-off session. And if we can learn that and get it into our heads, it's not going to be a one-off session that makes a great athlete. Consistent training block and consistent training blocks over time that make us a much different version, like yourself, much more improved in the next 12 weeks, half a year, 1 year. Good luck, and if you got anything from that, and if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. I love answering your questions. But if there's anything you got from these videos, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.